Hello, I'm Bas from Possum Labs, and today we'll be talking about the fourth web tutorial for the Possum Labs DSL project, which is talking about Movie Logger. So let's hop over to Visual Studio and take a look at what we got going on in here. So here we have our scenario. It looks like a scenario we've seen before. The only difference is we have this tag up here called @MovieLogger. When you put this tag on a scenario or a feature file, don't put it on a feature file, just put it on scenarios. It's pretty heavy weight to put this on everything. It will start to do more detailed logging and visual logging of tests running in a remote capacity. So this is something intended for debugging. It is not going to make your tests faster. It's going to make them actually quite a bit slower. So be careful where you use this. But let's take a look at the output. So the output is directed based upon what folder you specify in here. You can make this an absolute path if you like, but I put it as a relative path. It will end up in a bin folder. So let's go and take a look. There we go. So bin, debug, core app 3.1, and in here we have our test results folder. In here you'll see your files. So for instance, here it will say selector example, basic. Oh, that's probably the feature name I haven't updated. And then here's the scenario. So feature name, scenario. And then it has a date time plus unique ID. And let's take a look at the other guy. What we find in here is a couple of things. First of all, you'll find a bunch of different images showing up in here. These images are in series and they will show you the test as it's running. So here you see a little dotted line about username, around username, then password. And you can see how things are being filled in. It's going to click login next, and then it found add dealer. So what this is doing is it's actually injecting styles into the HTML to create these little dotted lines, and it will kind of show you like what's going on in your test case. It will include additional files to actually take this test case and turn it into a movie file. It also has subtitle files. No, not in there. Subtitle, steps, that's where it is. There's no messages being sent. So here's the subtitle file for the steps. So it will actually, if you enable this and you actually turn it into a MP4, then you'll see these steps in here in one of your subtitle tracks, and here is the PowerShell file to do that. Now, taking images and turning them into a actual movie is slow, especially when you want to have decent resolution, which you probably do. Otherwise, it's hard to tell what the hell is going on the screen or to see what information is being filled into the boxes. This one assumes that you have ffmpeg in the folder c:/ffmpeg, and then you can run the script and you end up with your movie file, and it will set up subtitle tracks for the actual different subtitle files. So yeah, that's what Movie Logger does. If you have a test that fails, you end up with slightly different results out of the box, even without Movie Logger. And that is that you'll find this final.bmp and source.html. So this is the dump of the HTML source, and this is a dump of the screen. So if your test failed on this screen for whatever reason, then it will dump out that screenshot for you, and along with the HTML when that happens. So even without Movie Logger, you'll get that on failed tests, but with Movie Logger, you'll get all the additional intermediate screenshot as it's going through the process. The way that the injection of the style sheet works is that it will actually inject an additional style element, and it will have a name that will be good. So that means that it is very unlikely that it will interfere with anything, and the only thing that the style document includes is the dashes. And it will try to clean itself up afterwards, but so far I haven't seen any issues so far with this particular setup. That's all the functionality you get out of Movie Logger. It is incredibly handy when you're debugging things that are running on a grid, on a remote server, in a headless mode. and it's been very useful over the years. Please let me know if you have any particular questions, and as always, please provide feedback in the comments below, and thanks for your attention.